So, I'm sitting out here in South Carolina. I'm actually in North Charleston, South Carolina, waiting on this load. I feel like they're about to take for fucking ever. I can just tell by the climate. It just feel like they about to take all fucking day to give me this damn wood. But I figured I would do some videos while I'm sitting here. I will set this video about Ben Carson, Ben Coonson, speaking about reparations with a black lady from CBS. And even on my live show I did the other night, there was a guy that kept telling me to talk about Ben Carson and had things to say about Ben Carson. We know, before we even get into this, we know and understand that Ben Carson is a coon. We know this. This is the same man who called slaves immigrants. He called our ancestors immigrants. I mean, you got a dude that is a doctor, book smart. This is one of the prime examples of where book smart equals or meets common sense, and how these things cannot be compared, because this motherfucker is dumb as hell. And you also have to look at the fact that Donald Trump chose him to be a part of his little team. Beware of the people, the black people, that white people like, and particularly white people in positions of power. Beware of those people automatically anyway. If you see a bunch of white folks smiling and clapping for somebody black, you need to be wary. You need to know what the fuck is going on right there. White people do not like black people who do not give a fuck about their opinion of them. We talked about that on my show the other night. If you're a black person, you don't give a fuck about what white people thinking, what their acceptance and anything from them, and you're going to speak real about the history, the situation that we're dealing with in this country as far as white supremacy is concerned, institutional racism, they don't stand up and clap and give you standing ovations. They don't do that. They're not going to make you rich. They're not going to put you in positions of authority to change anything. Know that. Alright? But I'm going to play this little clip. It was sent to me on Instagram. The headline reads here, Ben Carson on reparations says it's unworkable. Let's see what the fuck his coon ass talking about.
Explained why he has concerns about possible reparations for descendants of slavery.
When you think about the conversations that have happened regarding reparations, do you think that's something worth considering when you look at the inequity with African American wealth versus white Americans?
What I would say about reparations is, show me a mechanism that works. I did my DNA analysis.
Hold on. You already know he about to get into some bullshit when he says show me a mechanism that works. How about, bitch, the mechanism that worked for everybody else who has received reparations? The same motherfucking mechanism. So you already know he about to be into some bullshit. Well, let's go. Let's continue. Let me go back a little bit. If I can. It may not let me go back. Let me see. Okay.
I would say about reparations is, show me a mechanism that works. I did my DNA analysis.
And she ain't say shit.
Okay, I'm 77% sub-Saharan African. 20% European. 3% Asian.
This motherfucker say 20% European. Bitch, your brain, your mind is 100% European, bitch. Not your blood work. Your motherfucking philosophy, goddammit. Bitch ass.
How do you proportion that out to everybody?
If you can prove you're a descendant of a slave, though, do you think it's worth having a conversation?
What percentage of money do you get? What percentage of reparations?
Do you hear this?
No one is ever going to be able to work that out.
Do you hear this motherfucker? He said, what percentage of reparations should you get? Bitch, it's about being a descendant of a slave. That's it. What you talking about, percentages? It's motherfuckers like Ben Carson, who are, again, in positions of power, got a microphone in their face, being interviewed. Coons.
considered percentage of what black people look like in the civil rights era. They didn't say, well, we're not going to discriminate against you because you might be partially this or partially that.
Good point.
Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to figure it out. And where do you stop it? It's unworkable. So I would much rather concentrate on how do we provide the opportunities for people to get into a better economic
and make it
situation.
Fair now.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. Here's what I'm saying. When you hear people talk about, when you listen to politicians and people in the political arena that are talking about reparations and they talk about how unworkable it is, they should be reminded that it's worked several times prior to now. It seems like when a conversation comes up about black people, or specifically black people who are directly descendants of American slavery or American slaves, then the conversation, or then it becomes an impossible thing that they're trying to do. They just can't figure it out. They figure out everything else. These motherfuckers figure out a way to bomb a motherfucker from an office room here in America all the way overseas to where they can press a goddamn button and remote control a goddamn drone to kill somebody. They can figure out everything else. They got to the goddamn moon, didn't they? They can figure out everything else. But when it comes to running black people, that motherfucking money that we are owed, to close this wealth gap between the immigrant European, again, this motherfucker called slaves immigrants, to close the wealth gap between immigrant Europeans and black Americans, it should be simple. Look at what you did for the European. Look at what you did for those immigrants. You gave them land. You profited for centuries off of free motherfucking labor. That's why this conversation, when people are having it with politicians, there should be somebody there to bang. Now, I do give this black woman her respect for at least hitting them with the, when he hit the with the percentages thing. She didn't, well, wasn't nobody discriminated based on the goddamn percentages, motherfucker. They didn't check and see, well, you 50% black. You even look at how they treated some of the mixed peoples. You 50% black. Well, I won't discriminate. I'll only give you 50% of my hate for you. Oh, you only, okay, you 55, I'll give you 55% of my hate for you. But you got to be ready to bang. If it won't work, if it's an impossible workable, it's unworkable as he calls it, why did it work for other motherfuckers? Why did it work for the Jews under Obama's administration? They just got $13 more million while Obama, or 12 or $13 more million while Obama was in office. Well, how does it work for them? How does it work for all the people who have gotten reparations, but when you get to black folk, then it ain't gonna work? Where does it stop? I've heard people say it'll bankrupt the nation and all that shit. Bankrupt how? The idea of money is fake anyway. So how you going, what the fuck is bankruptcy for real? When you start talking into their language, when you fall for the fallacy that this shit is even real, the national debt and all these fucking terminology, all this stuff that they come up with to try to trick you, to overcomplicate money, motherfucker, you print it. You print it. You give certain services, you give certain privileges to certain groups of people, and they never been our people. Matter of fact, you sabotaged us at times when we were trying to even build our own. You could have just left us alone, but you can't. You never will, because you know if you close that motherfucking wealth gap, we'll be able to compete. You cannot continue to misinform, miseducate, and psychologically lower the self-esteem of a group of people who are competing with you on a financial level. That's one of the main reasons they don't want to give black people reparations. They don't want you to view yourself as equal to them. Because you're supposed to spend your life bowing, kissing their motherfucking ring. This is why they don't want to do it. Now, again, this black lady, she tried to do a good job. She kept it PC and all that shit. Let me get hope to one of these motherfuckers. That's what I want. Let me get hope to any anti-reparation, babble ass mouth, bitch made coon ass nigga. Let me get hope to him. Let me get hope to them motherfuckers. And I keep it cool. I try to keep it, you know. But I got some goddamn questions because, again, this isn't something this government could do this if it wanted to. But it has ulterior motives for keeping us in this bottom caste class. There's ulterior motives for that, even as it ties into your psychology, not just physical, being able to buy things, even as it ties into your psychology, because you might start fucking around and having self-esteem if you had the money. This government can't tell me what they can't do. Motherfucker, you sitting around building spaceships to go to outer space for what? There's billions being built on that alone. Space exploration. Billions of dollars per year for that fuckery, when you could be giving that and redistributing that wealth to the people who you owe it to. You're not going to tell me it's a motherfucking unworkable, bitch. You're not going to tell me that. But Ben Carson is a motherfucking coon. A lot of these people that you talk to about reparations are coons or full-blown out racist. When you talk to Bernie Sanders and these Joe Bidens and others, when y'all look and you talk to these motherfuckers, they are telling you exactly how they feel about you. They telling you they're black coon ass sellout flunkies like a Ben Coonson. They're gonna have the same talking points. Well, I just want us to move forward. Now, how, bitch? You 400 years ahead of me financially. How the fuck we gonna move forward? Guess what? You gonna stay 400 years ahead of me, and I'm gonna stay in the same position. Even if I move forward, you still 400 years ahead of me. You gotta watch for motherfuckers talking that shit. Well, we would want to progress right now. No, bitch. We got to start at the same motherfucking line first. If this conversation is to be had. You got your economists that will talk about this, how unworkable it is and how it's unrealistic and all these things. But the metrics that they use to call it unrealistic it's not real shit if you really look at this thing. You could take the money that they're giving to NASA alone. What the fuck is that doing? What the fuck I need to know what's going on in outer space when I'm living in a system of white supremacy and my people are 400 years behind financially? Why do I give a fuck about a goddamn how many moons Uranus got? Why does it matter to me the temperature on Pluto? Common sense stuff. This is practical stuff. This is why I coined the phrase practical black consciousness. This is practical black knowledge, really. I ain't gotta go into no goddamn books to find this shit. I don't have to be no motherfucking doctor to figure this shit out. I'm just living and observing what the fuck is going on out here, and I see what they're doing. I see what they do with the money, what they spend billions on. As they tell black people that they can't work out reparations. That's bullshit, y'all. But that's all the fuck I want to say. That's all the fuck I wanted to say. Y'all comment if you feel need to comment. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.